Hey, Hoagie's Garage, take two,
Take
Tope.
two. Got Zeb on next.
I'm really excited.
Zeb had a tremendous year.
You know, and I was going to put it down as one of my questions, but I was wondering, I didn't do it, and I'm not going to ask it. But down at Knoxville one year, I handed him a Hoagie's Garage podcast shirt.
Oh, did you?
I was just curious if he still has it or if he threw it in the garbage.
Well, maybe we should ask. I will see if we get brave enough to ask questions like that.
Yeah.
Maybe it was a grease rag in the trailer.
Hey, who knows? Who are these Hoagie's Garage guys?
Who are these yahoos? But anyways, he's on our show now.
He is. We're so happy to have him on.
Yep.
It's just, to think that we can get guys like Kenny Jacobs on that we just had, and now Zeb Wise.
Yep.
I'm just tickled to death that these guys respond to us and
To
are
talk
willing to come on.
To
and
two Yadelhoos out of Lester, Iowa.
absolutely.
And looking forward to every one of them.
Absolutely. But when we come back, Zeb Wise.
Nope, just couldn't focus. Anyways, we're back at Hoagie's Garage for take two, and we got Zeb Wise on with us. How you doing tonight, Zeb?
I'm good. How are you?
Can't even be any better than this. We're talking racing, so life is good.
That's right.
And talking with a points champion.
Yeah.
I mean, geez, we're our heads are kind of getting big in here right now talking to you.
Well, you told me you talked to Kenny Jacobs before me, so that might outdo me a little bit.
I ain't gonna lie to you, that was a lot of fun. The man's got stories.
And he ended it with a lot of compliments towards you, just so you know that. He's like, I've never met him, but he goes, man, can that kid drive? So,
Oh, that's cool.
yeah.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. Zeb, tell us a little bit about yourself. Are you single, married? What do you all got going on?
Yeah, I got a girlfriend, Faith. She's been with me I think we've been together for over 2 years now. She's on the road with me all the time, pretty much every race. Well, really, she works my t-shirt trailer, so she goes to pretty much every race, I go to. So on the road with her, got 2 dogs. I have a Rottweiler and got a little miniature golden doodle. So they keep us busy. They keep us on our toes. But just pretty much all I do. All I do is drive to the racetrack and then race and then get out of the car after done driving and drive some more to the next track.
The life of a racer, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
There's
I'm not
worse-
complaining by any means.
There's
but,
worse things to do in life.
Oh, absolutely.
So, when did you start racing, and what have you all raced as you came up through the ranks?
Yeah, so I started racing quarter midgets. I started when I was, I think I tested when I was 5, raced when I was 6, sometime around in there. And then did that until I was 12. Then I moved up to the micro stuff and ran micro sprints just around Indiana, a little bit of Oklahoma, just around home for 2 years, I think. And then I got hooked up with Clausen Marshall and then ran midgets for 3 years and then went sprint car racing, and that's all I've been doing since.
That's awesome.
So then with the Clausen Marshall, is that when you were teammates with Courtney, or when was that all about? Because, I mean, they were talking about that when you guys were battling it out.
Yeah, so when I ran for Clausen Marshall and the midget stuff, I was there for 3 years, and I was teammates with, some pretty big names in the sport. I was teammates with Sunshine and Justin Grant, Chris Wyndham, and Shane Golovic. So, Ricky Stenhouse here and there. But yeah, that was a pretty cool time for my career, being teammates with guys that I looked up to as a kid. And yeah, that was really fun.
You bet. So how is that on the track when you're good friends with somebody? You're battling Courtney for the championship, and I mean, obviously, you're racing to win the race and everything else, but it has to get a little interesting at times when you're such good friends with guys.
Do you pull the trigger on the slide job, or wait till you're guaranteed to clear? Or
Yeah, I don't. So, obviously, I've known Tyler for a while, and I feel like we both have a pretty good idea of how each other races. We've always raced each other really clean, and have had just even when they're not battles for the lead, I've had battles for whatever position it may be, and always race each other with respect. And yeah, just to be able to go toe to toe with him like that was really special for I think me and him. He had kind of been through it once before because him and Chris Wyndham were really close buddies, still are, and went to battle in the midget championship a couple years ago. So I think he had kind of been through it once, but that was really my first time. Number one, just being in contention for any championship, and being able to do it with one of your best friends is really cool. Yeah, we have a really good relationship and are really good friends. And we like to hang out and go golf and do stuff like that. So, it was really cool, really, really fun. I'm glad it came down to, the last race. Obviously, I'd like to roll in there and just have to, take a qualifying lap and that'd be win the championship. But to go to Eldora and be that good, on the final race of the year it was really fun.
So, and now you got bragging rights for the off season.
That's right. Yeah, I'll bring it up to him all the time. I'm in a group chat with him, and he renamed the group chat to 2023 All-Star Champ and all his brothers. So he likes to joke about it too.
That's what makes it fun.
Absolutely. So you brought up golf. Who's the best sprint car golfer that you know?
I actually haven't played golf with a lot of drivers. I have not played with Kyle, but just watching him, he looks like a really good golfer. Larson, I mean.
Yep.
And I've heard Lance DeWeese is a really good golfer. I've not played with him before. Tyler's pretty good. I mean, good for us is, it really doesn't take much. So, my crew chief, Tyler Testmaker, he's a really good golfer. The only problem is it's up and down pretty bad for him. So, he'll have one really good round, and then the next round will be pretty bad. But when his good rounds are on, it's impressive to watch.
Sure. Sounds like me minus the really good round. I get a okay round and then a really crappy round.
Well, that's the thing about Tyler is he when he can play good, it's impressive to watch.
Yeah, we had Lance DeWeese on, and he said that Kyle's never beaten him.
Yeah, I think that's how it was, or maybe once or something.
And maybe he's just bragging. I don't know, but Unfortunately, we haven't had a chance to have Kyle on yet.
Well, I've tried hard
to verify that, but we've tried. Oh.
So, when and how did that all get started with you getting to the All-Stars? I mean...
Yeah, really, I was racing midgets, and my goal was always to race sprint cars, and Sam McGee is actually the reason that I was in the sprint car, or got into sprint cars. I don't really, so actually how it started was I went and tested a sprint car for Boffman Reitzel. This was the end of 2019, I believe, or middle of 2019. I can't remember. It all runs together.
Yep.
I went and tested their car, and then I ended up running some 360 races for them in 2019 at Knoxville, and I think I ran one in Jackson, and they went okay, nothing special. And then, I think Sam said he was at the BC 39 in 2019. I ended up winning that night, and I guess Sam told his dad, that's the kid we should try and get to run our car. And they called up, and obviously I'm not going to turn down a sprint car deal, and that's been my dream. So I ran with Sam and Mike at the end of 2019, and then ran full-time with them 2020, and then kind of ran our own family car for a year and a half, and then that's when Kevin Radine called, and I ended up getting in the seat of the 26.
So that's one of the questions I had actually down the road, but I think I'll just ask it now. What has it been like racing for the Rudines? And then maybe a second part of that, what have the Rudines all done for racing? I mean, it's just kind of phenomenal, everything they've done.
Yeah, racing for them is awesome. Kevin and Monica, with the amount of time and money and effort Kevin puts just into the sport in general. I mean, he's involved in Trophy Cup in California. He owns Skagit Speedway. He has his own race that he moves around to different tracks with the All Stars. He sponsors the All Stars, and obviously he runs a car too, and has a midget that he runs. Here and there again, and he's involved in Chance Crum's sprint car deal as well. So I mean, the guy it seems like he never stops. And, like the little step that you don't really see all the time, he's involved in Willie Croft's car. He just does so much for the sport and trying to better it and, wants it to grow. And, he puts up a ton of money at Dirt Cup at Skagit. And, I'll just be honest that, the car count isn't great because it's kind of in a weird place, right? There's not a lot of cars up there, but still puts up a ton of money for us to race for. And that's just, you don't find that every day. And then obviously, getting a race for him is awesome. There's not a more down-to-earth, guy. Usually, a guy at his caliber can kind of, give off the wrong vibe. But Kevin is definitely not at all like that. He's definitely not. He doesn't put any pressure on us at all. He really just wants us to succeed and have a good career, and he wants his guys to be with him for. He would be happy if our group of guys that we have, I think just 5 of us, would be there for the rest of our careers. So he just wants us to live a good life and have fun doing what we're doing, and embrace it. And he's just a really good dude all around. He is great for the sport.
That's awesome.
And we need all them we can get in the sport too, because right now the sport's thriving, so it's great to have guys like that.
Absolutely.
So, obviously, stating the obvious, you had a huge year for you. Running great on some tracks maybe you struggled in the past, and obviously going on to win the All-Star Championship. That just has to be an amazing feeling for you, doesn't it?
Yeah, obviously, when you just, kind of sit back and, look at the wins and, the places that we won at. But really the biggest thing was, for me, championship was great. Absolutely. Like, that is awesome. I love that. But the places that we won at this year and had success at was probably the biggest, leap for me and for the team as well, I think. I mean, I know, like Tyler, that was his first my crew chief, Tyler Tessmaker, that was his first War of Outlaws win, and that was also mine, and it was only the team's second War of Outlaw win. So, and to do it at Port Royal, and we won at Eldora, and we won at Waynes Grove and Sealands Grove, like places that I have watched a lot of features at and not been a part of, and let alone to go there and compete with the greatest there is. So
Yeah.
It was a really special year all around, and we're not done yet. We got some, big money up on the line in Trophy Cup and, down at Charlotte. So, yeah, it's been a great year so far. Hopefully we can get a few more wins on there as well.
So, to just get into a little bit, what has been the change? I mean, what are you guys just clicking as a team? I mean, if you haven't run well at those tracks, what is it that now you are doing it? I mean, have you as a driver, turned the corner and, just become that much better, or what is it, do you think, Zeb?
Yeah, I think, honestly, there's probably 3 things that come straight to my mind that have changed. Number one, I feel like, I've made strides as a driver at some of those places. Still plenty of learning and, things I would do differently, when we go back. But just watching a lot of videos of, successful drivers at the places we go to and just trying to get better at those places has been a big goal of mine, just the half miles in general, because I've always struggled with them. And then the second thing, I think, is just the team, gelling all together. I mean, me, Tyler, Derek, Brandon, Balin, all of us, have a really good relationship, and I feel like all of us actually enjoy being at the track together and, do stuff outside of racing, whether it's play video games or go golf or do something. And we actually want to be together and enjoy it. And, that makes a lot of other stuff come easy. Whether it's Tyler, like when I come in and get in the car, I know, what the car is going to be like. We have a good baseline, and he knows before I even get out of the car after, let's say, hot laps or qualifying, what I'm going to say. He knows what the car needs, and I say our best nights, honestly, me and Tyler don't talk that much because, he knows what I want, and I know that the car's probably going to be pretty good. So I go and watch the races. He does his thing. I come back, and we could just go do what we do, and that makes life a lot easier. And then the third thing, I think, was bringing in, these Ford engines. They really boosted our half-mile performances, and I really don't think they changed much, let's say, from a heat race on, but like the early in the night, the qualifying, if you can't qualify half miles, you're really going to struggle to get up to the front. And those Fords, I feel like, qualify really well and put us in a good spot. They qualify us into a dash, you know what I mean? And
Yep.
if you can get in the dash, the rest of the night's easy as long as you
Yeah,
you can draw
yeah.
a good pill. So
Yeah, you really need to, 95% of the time you need to be in the dash to stand a chance to win.
absolutely. With how the competition is anymore,
Yeah.
I mean, there's no room for mistakes, and if you can get into the dash, you're ahead of a lot of guys. So just those three things I think have really played a big role in not just the half-mile stuff, but everything else.
Yeah, those charges from deep in the field are tough to do anymore because the competition is so stiff through the whole field.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
getting to be, well, it makes it a lot of fun for guys like us because we get to sit and watch. But
yeah.
I'm just reading through all the questions because you answered like half of them there. The last little.
Oh, that's perfect.
That's perfect. That's what
we
we
always
want.
say. Nobody wants to listen to me and Bud.
You brought up the World of Outlaw win. How many races was it? I think I heard you in the post race interview with Chase. Said this is your first top 5 too, and you're like, gee, thanks.
Exactly, yeah.
But you haven't even had a top 5. But I think that just shows what's going on with your team. But what did that World of Outlaws mean to you also?
Yeah, it was really cool. If you would have told me my first Outlaw win would have come at Port Royal, I would have told you were lying. But it was just a really cool night. Obviously, I always knew if we could just get timed in good that I felt like we would have been just fine and could compete with those guys. And got timed in good, heat raced really well, won our heat race, and then drew the pole for the dash. And I think we ended up winning the dash, and then started second, started on the pole of the feature. Sorry, and got to second early. I got the first lap, honestly, first corner, and Lance was leading, and I knew, what Lance is going to do at Port. He's not going to go pound the wall in 1 and 2, and I was really just trying to keep pace with him because I knew if I could stay close, and maybe if we got to traffic, that I would have a chance. And he was just running high enough into one that it was, he was doing what he always does, is just breaking the air off enough into one where it was really hard for a guy to get a runner up there. And I had showed my nose once to him in 3 and 4, and he kind of held me down far enough where I couldn't get underneath him. And then after that, he had actually moved down to 1 and 2, just enough where I could sneak around him. And once I got to the lead, I felt really comfortable. I kind of felt like the race was, in our hands at that point. And just kind of paced around. I've never ever really ran the bottom at Port Royal. So like I told Tyler after the race, because he's like, yeah, I saw you missed it a couple times, and then you slowed down and hit it. I'm like, dude, I don't think I've ever ran the bottom here. Like, honestly, I think I'm always up on the fence, so I didn't really know what to do when I went down there. But yeah, our car was so good. I mean, I could go almost anywhere I wanted, and that's a really comfortable feeling at a place like that when you're not dependent on the wall. It was just a really, really cool night. I had no idea that was Tyler's first Outlaw win until we were riding home that night. He's like, oh yeah, that was my first Outlaw win too. And I'm like, no kidding, I had no idea. It was just it was a really cool night for everyone. Kevin was pretty happy with that because I don't think he had won an Outlaw race since 2011. So it's been a long time coming for him too. Probably felt like his first.
About forgot the first one.
Yeah.
The other thing I noticed about your team is in the features, you're always going forward. It doesn't matter, for the most part where you start, but it seems like you're, if you're not the hard charger, you're always, getting extra spots.
Yeah, it's always easy to say, right? Like if you're moving forward, you're doing something right. So, the features, I feel like our car is just always really good. Some nights it might take us a little longer to get there, but usually by the end of the night we have a pretty good pace, and I feel like we're on track pretty good. And like last night at Putnamville, we got behind the 8-ball early, didn't get hot laps, and then qualifying lap wasn't that great. We went forward in the heat race and went forward in the features. So I feel like we're just that consistency of being able to pass race cars and at least put ourselves in good positions, but they might not be great, but at least we can make up some spots and get inside the top 10, top 5 is you turn your bad nights become, 8th instead of 12th or 15th. So that's half the battle.
Being Captain Obvious here, consistency is what wins you championships.
Yeah.
I mean,
exactly.
you can go out and win half the races, but if you finish in 20th the other half, you ain't winning the championship. So.
Yeah, and that's one thing that really changed. I would say, well, not really changed, but just got more consistent at the end of the year was the top 10s and top 5s started coming. Honestly, if we didn't run in the top 5, we all had our heads down. I mean, when your bad nights are outside the top 5, that's a good thing.
And you got the bar set pretty high.
Yeah, exactly.
So, you already talked about what you were doing the rest of this season with the Gold Cup and out in North Carolina and what. So, what do we got for next year? Have we settled them plans already, or is that for later on?
Well, I'm sure you guys hear the rumors just like I do, with what's going on at the High Limit Series and the All Stars and all that. So, I don't know honestly what our plans are for next year. I think that's pretty dependent, obviously, on what exactly happens between those two series, but. I'm sure we'll still hit. I think we're at 74 races right now, so we'll be, well over 80, probably pushing 90 by the end of the year. So, I'm sure we'll still be in that 90 race range.
Sure.
I just don't know with what series yet. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
So I have to ask, but you have any idea how many of these interviews you've had to do since you became a champion?
Oh gosh, no, I don't.
More than us, I'm guessing.
Yeah. I mean, I like doing podcasts. I enjoy it. I like, some like to ask, kind of oddball questions, and I enjoy that part of it too. And I know you guys ask oddball questions, so I'm looking forward to that part. But yeah, it's always fun to do some podcasts.
That's good. That's good. Before we get to those questions, what we always like to give everybody a chance to name all the sponsors. How well do you have that memorized by now?
Well, at this point, pretty good. And that's actually a good sign because that means you're doing interviews.
That means you're getting interviewed, yep.
Obviously, Kevin and Monica Redeem, the Race Redeem Foundation, Sundollar Restoration, Junior is a big part of our program as well. Redeem Management, Hager Realty, Jason D. Trailer Sales. Yeah, everyone that's part of Ford Performance, Maxim Chassis, just everyone, FK Shocks, FK Roddens. There's a big list of people that put a lot of money and time and effort into it, and it's it's always special when you can get them on the top step.
Yeah,
that it is.
That's awesome.
So, now we'll get to them funner questions.
So,
there we go.
What's your favorite flavor of ice cream?
I'd have to say Moose Tracks. I feel like it's pretty hard to go wrong with
Moose Tracks. That might be a new one.
So
again.
explain Moose Tracks to us, little Iowa Weegians here.
Oh, you don't know?
I don't know.
I honestly feel like it's similar to like cookie dough, chocolate chip cookie dough, something like that. It's like peanut butter and chocolate. But yeah, it's really good.
It's ice cream with Moose Tracks in it, bud.
Exactly. That's it.
You talking moose turds or what are you talking?
No, tracks, buddy. Footprints.
Tracks.
Cat or a dog person, which we already discussed that.
Yeah, dogs.
Yep.
Dogs for sure. Actually, I can't even say cats because I'm very highly allergic to cats, so I can't do that one.
Don't want them around.
No.
And we talked a little bit about golf, but do you have any other hobbies other than racing?
Oh, I play a little bit of video games.
What's your go-to?
Video games?
Yeah.
Oh, I like. Well, I mean, I think everyone's waiting for this, but GTA 6. Always looking forward to that. But I played a little bit of Red Dead Redemption 2. I play a little bit of Madden, not much, and then Call of Duty's probably the one I play the most.
You're talking to two guys that don't touch it.
I'd have to ask my kid about it.
I'm a full-time PE teacher, and I don't want kids to be playing their video games. So
yeah, that's probably true.
Before summer, I always give my spiel about get outside, do stuff, be active, stay off the computers. But
we always ask you any hobbies outside of racing, but we can't hardly with Zeb and a lot of the guys we talk to. Racing's their life. It ain't really a hobby.
Yeah.
It's their job, you could say. So
Honestly, I haven't raced this much in my entire career as much as I did this year. And I watched, some of the stuff, some of my hobbies that I used to do kind of disappear just because, you're on the road so much.
yeah,
Those weeks where you might have been at home, have a weekend off, those weeks are now spent in a hotel in PA or, over in, Illinois or just
Yeah.
somewhere different,
Yeah.
somewhere in the United States other than at home.
somewhere. That's right.
How about a favorite movie?
Step Brothers.
There you go.
Brother, that's good.
Yeah, that's always been my favorite. That hasn't changed in a while.
Do you prefer snow or rain?
Snow, no question about it. I love snowmobiling. That's probably another hobby I could have said.
There you go.
I love snowmobiling. Always loved doing it. So yeah, snow for sure.
What brand you ride?
Well, my growing up, all I rode was Arctic Cats.
Okay. See, we rode Polaris.
Yeah, I've always liked Polaris. I think they look nice, but I've just always rode
You know,
Arctic Cat.
I don't think there's anything wrong with anything, but it's just whatever you want, whatever you can buy.
Yeah, exactly.
If you were going to be stranded on an island, what album or what type of music would you have to take along to listen to?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Probably like 80s or 90s country.
Oh,
we're
I
two
thought
two
for
tonight.
sure you were going to say 80s, 90s rock.
But don't like country.
I'm not a country guy.
I like 80s, 90s rock too, but I'd probably have to go the country route.
So like Nitty Gritty Dirt Band,
Yeah.
you and
yeah.
me going fishing in the dark. See, I
Yeah.
like that
Alabama.
song a lot, but
I just listened to that song today, so that's weird that you said that.
I play it every day for my PE kids. So, do you,
Go ahead. Your turn.
is it my?
Yeah, it's your turn.
Do you have a favorite place to go out to eat?
Oh, are we? In general, probably like Texas Roadhouse would probably
Okay.
be the best place. I feel like it kind of has everything. You can kind of get a mix of about whatever you want.
I
Yep.
just need the buns. I say that every time, but
Yeah,
I just need the
me
buns.
too.
Order the meal, eat the buns, take the steak home,
Is-
eat it later.
Is
Yeah,
there a little
that's right.
mom and pop shop that you've hit out on the road? Is there something
Or is there
that
one at home?
I'm trying to think. There's somewhere. Well, I don't know if this is considered mom and pop, but like the Rib Shack at Knoxville, absolutely love Rib Shack.
is that where we eat?
Yep.
Yeah, I love that place. I eat there all
Rib
the
Shack
time.
is really good.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Obviously, Eldora concessions are always good. That's not at all mom and pop. One of the first things that came to my head.
How about a favorite holiday, Zeb?
Oh, I don't know about that one. I don't really know that I have a favorite. Probably Christmas. I feel like that's kind of, I would say that's probably a lot of people's favorite. But, yeah, I like snow, so I like that time of year.
Yeah. What app on your phone do you use the most?
Probably, well, I got probably two that are honestly probably tied. Either Twitter or X or whatever it's called, and Auto Trader. I look at cars all day long.
Ooh, that could be good for a little bit later on here.
That was a different one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be a good one for later and further in the questions.
Okay.
Kenny his wife had to answer for him.
Race Pass app.
Pass, you're on there all the time. How many speeding tickets have you gotten so far in your life, Zeb?
One.
One.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, that's not true. Two. Sorry, I forgot one. Two.
Well, what's the fastest you've ever driven on the highway and not gotten caught though, or with somebody?
Oh, I haven't really gone that fast, honestly. Probably 100 at most.
That's reasonably
that's-
safe.
Yeah, that's still illegal, but
Yeah,
it wasn't anything crazy.
it's nowhere near a record. Let's
no,
put it that way.
No crotch rockets or anything like
No,
that
no.
you've.
I like as far as like street cars go, like people always talk about like, do you drive fast? Do you do that? I really don't drive that fast, but I accelerate really quick.
Oh.
I don't really know why, but that's just something I've always done.
Got
That's
the
my
jackrabbit
brother
starts
Dean.
going.
My brother Dean. He you're following him to go wherever, and you're in the city, and it's green light, and before you know it, he's at the next light, and I'm still sitting there. I'm like, Dean, what's the rush, man?
Get on the highway, and he takes off like that, and he goes 50.
Oh.
So, what's your favorite thing to drink, Zeb?
Oh, probably just Coke. Or cherry Coke.
Okay.
Actually, it would probably be better.
That
cherry
works.
Coke.
You bet. So this is where that question maybe from earlier was, because this is our last one. But if money was no object, Zeb, absolutely no object, is there a car or anything that you always wish that you had?
Yeah. I'm very specific with it, but I'll just give the generic answer.
You can be specific. We like specific.
Well, let's just say it would be a 2019 Z06 Corvette.
Okay.
What color?
It's always been black. Black. It would have to be black. Exterior, red interior, manual. 3LZ with the Z07 package, and then we'd be good. That's all I need.
I guarantee you, if Zeb had that, number one, 100 miles an hour would not be the fastest he's ever gone.
No.
And number two, he would have more than 2 tickets.
Yeah. You're probably right.
Oh, well, Zeb, as big as name as you've gotten here, we really appreciate you coming on our little show that we have. And the Falcons, Buck and Gord both wanted me to congratulate you on a great year, and they wish you the best. And again, just thanks for coming on our show. We really appreciate it.
Yeah,
that's John and Steve. If you don't know the nicknames around here.
Yeah. Tell them I said hello, by the way.
We will.
You bet. All right. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
All right.
Well, you chickened out.
I did ask.
I wasn't going to ask. Maybe he'll listen to the podcast yet. Maybe he'll comment back to you or something.
No.
Or he'll say, I have no idea what you're even talking about.
Oh, he did so good. He's very, easy to listen to.
Yeah, it talks well.
God dang. He just comes so far.
Yep.
You think about where he was in
and seems laid back.
2019, nothing. And now,
Yep.
He's a champion.
Yep.
That's not that many years.
No. And
Heck, how many years did we play softball? Well, a lot more than 5 or 4 to get to be a champion. I mean,
we never ever made it to I never made it to the bigs. You guys went to nationals once after I was old and retired.
yeah, frick.
But
I still miss the days when I'd give up a home run and,
I could say,
hey, do you want me to go get that one so you can let him hit another one?
Who would say that?
Yeah.
Couldn't have been me. I'm not that much of a smart aleck.
Anyhow,
But
Zeb,
we had a blast. But Zeb did a great job. Zeb was a lot
so
of fun.
awesome.
Best of luck next year and the rest of this year to him.
Yeah, absolutely. Heading out to probably California and then to North Carolina, I think he said.
Going to put a few miles on then.
Yep,
So-
that they're used to it.
Yeah,
So,
that's what they do. So,
Yep,
anyway,
absolutely.
We'll be
Good
back
luck,
for
Zeb.
round 3.